Morning teacher, my name is Alessandro,
And my name is Andrés.
and today my partner and I are going to discuss about the tourism. In my case, I'm going to talk about the advantages.
And in my case, I'm going to talk about the disadvantages.
Alright, to begin, I like to say that one of the most special things about traveling is how much people care about this journey having a positive impact on their conscience, but even more on the places they visit. Travel and tourism in Peru, for instance, currently generates more than $19.6 billion and over 1.2 million direct and indirect jobs, and we strongly believe that travel and tourism can have a positive effect on the economy and development of a country.
Well, I see your point, but there is another problem in the service economies as you mentioned. For example, although jobs are created by tourism, most are relatively low levels such as bar work, hotel service, restaurant service, and so forth. These low-wage, low-skills workers have little prospect for advancements or promotion.
Yeah, I know what you say, but I like to add that another advantage of tourism is that in the environmental term, it can provide economic incentive for a place to preserve, maintain, and regenerate the environment in both urban and rural settings.
Well, I know, but there is also a problem in environmental service, for example. For example, in tourism can often cause environmental damage which risks like erosion, pollution, or the loss of natural habitats, the forests and forest fires. Even if tourists behave responsibly, the sheer number of them can cause damage. Ancient buildings, monuments, and temples often struggle to cope with increased traffic and suffer inevitable wear and tear. Reef and other natural tourist attractions can suffer permanent damage.
Yeah, I see your point. It also promotes international connections, which can bring more business and cultural collaborations in the long term. And I like to add that tourism provides jobs for 1 out of every 12 workers in advanced emergency economies.
Well, if we talk about money, the imbalance funding is a problem. Money can end up being directed by tourist areas when it could be used more effectively elsewhere in the country. The locals who don't live in specific tourist areas miss out and suffer relatively decline.
Okay, the main start of attraction for tourists visiting a country is its historical sites and landscapes, particularly the landmarks of the country. This means it becomes the government's utmost priority to conserve these sites for the tourism industry to be sustainable.
Well, if we talk about the foreign poaching, oftentimes most of the tourist industry in a developing country is owned by big foreign companies. They make the major profits, leaving local businesses with relatively little benefit.
Yeah. Okay, I see your point, but the unique feature of tourism is that it helps to create unity among people from different countries, cultures, backgrounds, traditions, and ethnicities who are all visiting to have some fun.
Well, if we talk about a cultural case, we have like the commercialization of culture can undermine the soul of a tourist destination. Local traditions that have a rich cultural heritage are reduced to wearing customs and putting on the acts of tourism in returning the money.
Yeah, but don't forget that it allows people to learn different histories, traditions, cultures, diets, and lifestyles of the nations they are visiting. This helps to create understanding and oneness among people, which can have a long-lasting impact socially.
Well, there is another problem in the culture clashes. For example, the tourists often lack respect for local traditions and cultures, refuse to follow local dress standards, or get drunk in public, or behave rudely or inappropriately towards locals. And also the tourist dependence. Sometimes the tourists become so focal to other forms of income generation that are neglected in economic dependence or tourism forms. This is fine in good times, but it can leave the country vulnerable to economic ruin in the long run and contribute to political upheaval or natural disasters.
Okay, teacher, and those were our examples of tourism. Thank you.
Thank you.